Welcome to another episode of Broken Plays. Great season ahead of us. The Knicks making a splash. We'll talk about that. Two mans them got their bonnets on, so you know the hot takes are going to be coming in. Like look at Hatham. Look at that crisp camera quality.
Hey,
Yo, Hatham,
sorry.
how you feeling today, bruh?
Yo, I'm feeling good, bro, like I should. I'm out here in these streets. Actually, I'm not out in these streets. Leave me alone.
Yo, don't get yourself in trouble, fam.
Yo, Jalen, how we feeling today?
I'm blessed, fam. I'm blessed. Had a rough day yesterday, but we're good, fam.
Heritage
Ah,
College, shout out. It's
No, don't shout
yo,
them out
bro,
this
shout
side.
out to Heritage College.
on your shirt.
Alma mater.
Shit, yeah, my fault.
Yo, flex that. Head coach, flex that. Flex that. Yo, shout out to Eva, Steve, our producer, for getting us online and posting up this episode. We're going to dive into a lot today. Let's get right into it. The Knicks. Big splash. They make a trade, get rid of Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, a first rounder that belongs to Detroit, and they get back Carl Anthony Towns. Jalon, what does this trade do for the Eastern Conference?
I think it makes the Knicks very, very strong contenders. I think it moves them a little bit closer to Boston. I think their starting five now allows them to play five-out basketball. Cat can be who he truly is, which I believe is a very, very good number two. It still allows Jalen Brunson to be the number one option, but now you have a very, very good post scorer. Can sort of offset the offensive load from Jalen Brunson. But I think that the biggest thing for the Knicks is that you get another bona fide star and you get somebody else who can kind of challenge and force the Boston Celtics to defend. Because let's be real, nobody else is sort of on the radar to challenge the Boston Celtics other than the Knicks, in my opinion. But I think you cause problems for the Celtics with Kristaps Porzingis. Now he has to guard because Al Horford just retired. So I think for the Knicks, it's a very, very solid move, and you got him kind of for pennies. You had to move off of Julius Randle at some point, anyways. Dante DiVincenzo going, I think, is a big not necessarily a big blow, but I think it's a blow to their perimeter shooting. But when you add Mikal Bridges, I think the two kind of offset. You still have Miles McBride and other pieces to go with it, but I just think for the Knicks is a very, very good move. In terms of the Minnesota Timberwolves, I can understand why they did it. You had to move off of Cat or Rudy Gobert. Cat gives you more in return than Rudy Gobert at this point in the NBA sort of stratosphere. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility. If you wanted to keep Cat, you would have had to move Nikhil and Naz Reid in order to facilitate keeping Cat, which kind of screws with your depth, and especially because for Rudy Gobert, you're not going to be getting as much in return. But for me, I would have bitten the bullet because I don't think the Timberwolves. Hatham said this at the end of the NBA season last season, and after thinking about it for a little while, I think I completely agree.
Wait. Say that again. Just for the
Anyways, the Timberwolves aren't getting back to the same spot with that roster, and I don't think
I remember that.
the move to get Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle moves the needle enough to overcome how strong the West is going to be. So for me, I would have bitten the bullet on trading Rudy Gobert, see if I could get a couple picks. Charlotte probably would have thrown some picks at me. Teams like that, Washington maybe. But I just think that if I'm the Timberwolves, I wouldn't trade Cat, especially because he's done so much during his time at Minnesota to sacrifice to facilitate Anthony Edwards, to facilitate Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, even though Mike Conley is an NBA veteran. But I just think that Cat has done so much for the organization in terms of being very unselfish and willing to take sort of the shit end of the blame and the whole Jimmy Butler saga and stuff like that. I think he should have been repaid, and Rudy Gobert should have been the one to go. But I digress. All in all, for the Knicks, I think it's positive. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think it's more just for cap flexibility.
I agree with a lot of the points that you made. I think this really puts the Knicks in a good spot. They have their depth. They get a big man that they truly needed because, like, we all agreed that like Julius Randle wasn't it, and Julius Randle didn't want to be there. In a, like you know what I mean. So I do agree with you on that sense, and I think that this comes back to Jalen Brunson taking that pay cut so that they can bring in players like Carl Anthony Towns and stuff. And who knows if the Knicks are done because they did make some moves. They have the cap space, so things could happen for the Knicks, and they might not be done. Right. In terms of the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think moving away from Cat I agree with you. I would have moved away from Rudy Gobert, but I do think that now this establishes that like Anthony Edwards, this is your team. I know it's easy to say that it's always been Anthony Edwards' team, but I think like now it's like anyone coming in, like Anthony Edwards is the face of this franchise, and no one can challenge that. Rudy Gobert's not going to challenge that. You know, Julius Randle definitely not going to challenge that. So now it's Anthony Edwards' team, and I think now they're starting to build around Anthony Edwards. And who knows, maybe they do trade Rudy Gobert and try to get some pieces to complement Anthony Edwards. But I think for the Knicks, this is a huge trade, and I think we can see the Knicks versus the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Still a little too early to say because preseason's just starting, but I think the Knicks have put themselves in a really good position. Atham, before I ask you, I have to ask you another question. How sweet did it feel to hear Jalen admit that he agrees with you?
Yo, niggas are weird, bro. What's going on? You guys gonna make out too? What is this?
The time he agrees with me, it's just like a slight one. He's like, yo, I agree with him, but I digress, you know?
Yo, Atham, the Knicks trade, what does it do for the Eastern Conference?
I think it just balances out all the teams, really. I think now we can say, there's 4 teams that competitively can compete. The Bucks are kind of there, but they're like you have Giannis, right? You have Giannis and Dame, so you have a chance. Then it's I think they slightly now are better than the 76ers. So I thought the 76ers were better than them prior to the trade. Outing Towns now, I think they're a little better, and then there's obviously Boston. So the 4 of them are the best teams in the league, right? But this trade is good for both parts. I think if they could have got rid of they need to get rid of Mitchell Robinson. They need to trade him and then just put Towns at his original position as a 5 because he can paint and he can go out. He can do both, but he wasn't able to do that in Minnesota because Rudy Gobert was clogging up the paint, right? But then for the Wolves, it's perfect because now you get to divide your contract in 2. Towns' contract into 2 based off the new CBA rules. If they were in the second apron, Towns' contract couldn't have been divided into two contracts. It would have had to have been a 1-to-1 trade. So it makes it so you can trade him. Randall's contract is a kind of an expiring contract, so you can take on some money. So if they really wanted to go into a pattern, if they still want to spend money, they can go after someone that has like 3 or 4 years on their contract. Maybe someone like Zach LaVine, maybe someone else, and they can just trade him and they can just send that pick. I just don't understand the trade because who are you starting out of the 2? You know what I mean? Are you starting DiVincenzo or are you starting Randall? Because I would rather have Najee Harris starting. Or is it Najee Harris? Is it Najee?
That's the running back for the Steelers, brother.
Yeah, my bad. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
The Minnesota Power forward.
Naz
Naz Reid.
Reid.
Yeah, Nas Reed. My bad. It looks
Najee Harris.
But yeah, so Nas Reed, I'd rather have Nas Reed starting. Either 4 because he can shoot. I think Randall kind of clogs up the paint. But also, are you starting DiVincenzo and you're putting Are you putting 3? But then you also have Jaden McDaniel, so it's kind of like you kind of haven't really addressed anything, like you know what I mean. But
You still have to find space for Rob Dillingham, Mike Conley.
So yeah, Perry, what are you saying, fam?
Yo, for real,
Let
Perry,
me say,
strolling in late. Perry,
fashionably late. Better late than never.
What does
But
the
never
Knicks
late is
trade
better.
for the Eastern Conference?
So I have to say, my first reaction when I seen this Knicks trade was poor Jalen Brunson. Poor
Why?
Jalen Brunson. So he says to the front office, keep my friends and I'll take less money. And they're like, okay. Then they're like, when you said friends, you just needed 2 on the team, not 3, right? And traded one of his boys. I'm sick. And DiVincenzo was a good piece for the Knicks. I like it for the Timberwolves. I think it kind of addresses the dynamic between Gobert and Towns. You have someone like a little more agile, a bucket getter. Like it's not gonna change the dynamics of the spacing too much, but it's going to change that offense a little more. It's gonna be like I'm anticipating something a little faster paced. With the Knicks, I think they kind of needed something outside of Brunson. And I think with Randall returning, knowing that Randall was the best player before Brunson got injured, it would have been a tough adjustment to make. So this trade, I think, addresses a little bit here and there. I still have Philly ahead of the Knicks. I still have Celtics ahead of the Knicks. I still have
Why
Bucks
is
ahead
that?
of the Knicks. Why do I have Philly above the Knicks? I have Embiid that at over Brunson, and I have like Embiid over Towns. I have Maxi at like 90% Brunson's production. I believe that now like what I have to deal with is Hart, OG, and Mikal Bridges. I think I'm good with Paul George. Like Paul George being like a third piece that needs to give me 20 per game makes me feel a little
Mhm.
more empowered than I would if he was like my second best player at like Clippers. I have to me like I'm confident in my team right now. Like I think the Sixers and also the reason another added reason wow that I have the Sixers is that the Knicks offense completely has to change. Like it has to change completely because you're adding Karl Anthony Townsend. So you have to account for like the touches he's going to demand, the space you kind of have to make within your offense for Karl Anthony Towns. Whereas Embiid and Maxi already established that, and now you're just adding Paul George to it.
But they're just taking Randall's and DiVincenzo's. They're taking his shots. He's taking their shots.
Like it's not like just about that. It's just understanding where he needs the shots from, when he needs the shots, how to play with him. Like how to make him most effective, how Jalen Brunson and Towns can play together. Like it takes a couple games, it takes some chemistry. Like not every team can like just hit the ground and running like Golden State.
The thing about that I'll say is that they have a coach who's coached Carl Anthony Towns before. Thibodeau is no stranger.
I thought you were talking about Philly. Sorry.
No. Thibodeau is no stranger, right? So like he knows how Carl Anthony Towns plays. He's been coaching
Good
Brunson,
point.
so I think he's like the best person to make sure it works. No matter
But
how
it didn't
you
go
think
well with
about
Towns and him when he
Thibodeau's
coached him.
coaching. Pardon?
But it didn't go well with him and Towns when he coached him.
Yeah, but he's in a better situation with the Knicks. Is what I'm saying is that he has coached him before, and he has both pieces. He should be able to come up with some kind of strategy for both players.
I get you.
Like you know what I mean?
I get you.
Haytham, there's something that you said that brings me into my next question about the NBA season prediction. You said there's 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. I'm gonna go and say that there's 5. I still think Indiana's there, man.
Indiana who?
Pacers. I still think I think
Fever?
it's a
The
top
Fever?
5.
The Fever? Sorry,
Caitlin
my
Clark?
No, I think the Pacers are there. I think the Pacers are part of the top 5. I don't know how they're going to do, but like they're getting back Ben Mathurin, and I think that's going to be huge for them. He was having a good sophomore season until he got injured. You know what I mean? I think Indiana still needs to make like a move to like catch up to the other teams, but I still think that there's 5 teams in the East that I could look at and say confidently that I think is good. You know.
Well, Mesquite. You didn't want to address it?
Yeah. So we are just getting some breaking news that just happened. And, this is some sad news. Mutombo has passed away from brain cancer at 58 years old.
Crazy.
That's
Wow.
that's wild.
Let's go to his family, man.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
IP.
So before we continue, does anyone have like one Mutombo moment that they remember?
No.
That's the one. That's the one.
The commercial is my favorite Mutombo moment, man. When he was going around to different places and swatting people, he was like, no. He went to the op, bro. That commercial was hilarious. Yeah, that's my favorite Mutombo moment.
Damn, that's sad.
Shit to Michael Jordan. And then Michael hammered it on him. Pop. But yeah. Hey.
So, just to bring it back, man. That was sad. I remember the Kemba Mutombo, like, no. Jalen, what are your predictions for the NBA season?
It's very interesting you say the Indiana Pacers because I just don't feel like with their current roster makeup that they have enough to challenge the top 4 in the East. So for me, I think everybody's consensus is Milwaukee in no order. So Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and the Knicks. I don't think the Pacers, especially now with the moves the Knicks have made, the Sixers got drastically better. Boston's still Boston, extremely well-coached team, tenured, been on multiple playoff runs, 2 All-NBA players. I just don't think they have, obviously Milwaukee has Giannis and Chris Middleton and Dame. I just don't think the Indiana Pacers have enough. So for me, the top 4 goes Boston, New York, Milwaukee, Philly. And the reason I put Philly fourth is because I think they have more to do in terms of getting the chemistry correct and getting sort of their route and figuring out, how the different pieces work with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I think fitting Paul George into that is going to take a little bit longer, more so because I anticipate Paul George and Joel Embiid missing games at different periods of time. So to me, I think that is going to be very tough to get enough games together for them come playoff time where they're comfortable with each other and, they understand each other's tendencies and spots, so on and so forth. So that's why I Philly fourth. I think, they're going to be a good team. I just think that it's just going to take them a little bit longer than the other teams, especially because the Villanova Knicks have so much, like they already have the chemistry, right? They all play for Villanova with the exception of Cat. But yeah, that's what I think the top four in the East is going to be. The top four in the West, I think, is a very very big toss up. But I have the Lakers in the top four, and I just think let me land. I think I have the Lakers in the top four just because I feel like this is LeBron's last chance to go for a chip, and I feel like he has to average 28, 29, damn near 30 points a game, and Anthony Davis is going to have to do close to the same. I think they're going to have all NBA seasons. I think that the Lakers are going to be a top four team. They're going to be a very, very, very hard team to beat. Even though they haven't made any moves, just off the top of my head, I think the Lakers are a top four team. Obviously, I think that Sacramento is going to be hovering around that 5-6 spot. I think getting the addition of DeMar DeRozan, although for spacing purposes, it may clog some stuff up for De'Aaron Fox. But I think adding another scorer is something that they desperately, desperately need. So I think that catapults them a little bit higher. But I think the West is really wide open. I don't think it's easy to call the Western Conference because Memphis is coming back. They're getting their health back. The Golden State Warriors are going to look very, very different now with Buddy Hield losing Klay Thompson. The Dallas Mavericks have just added Klay Thompson. They added, what's that brother from New York? The short guy. They added another shooter. They upgraded their shooting. Quentin Grimes. They upgraded their shooting from Tim Hardaway, who hadn't hit a three since March 9th. And he was in the NBA Finals. That's crazy.
Birthday! Shout out to Quabs.
So I think the Dallas Mavericks have upgraded, and them being together another year, another full year, Kyrie and Luka are only going to get better playing together. So I think there's so many teams, the Pelicans as well. There's so many teams in the West that it's impossible to call.
Harry, what are your
Bino, would you say you
predictions
grew up on your birthday? Would you say that you grew up on your birthday?
Yo, what?
Would you say you grew up on your birthday? I just need a yes.
Yes, whatever, yeah.
So since you've grown up, you have not seen a Tim Hardaway 3. Unless you're watching highlights. And the finals ended when? In July?
Yeah. June.
In June. I feel like it was just it was a wrong fit for him to be on that Dallas team. So I think a player like Klay Thompson is upgrade. I think a player like Klay Thompson is an upgrade to Tim Hardaway Jr. I feel like Tim Hardaway Jr. was just in the wrong situation in Dallas.
Sorry, how?
I feel like for him having a Kyrie, playing with a Kyrie and a Luka, brought him from being a ball handler where he could kind of depend on certain touches that he's giving up now. I think he had to give up quite a bit for him to adjust to that.
When was he a big ball handler? To my knowledge, recollection, I don't remember him being a pick and roll ball handler or somebody who's shooting off the dribble, but I could be wrong.
He was shooting those step backs, catching the ball, bringing it up, boom, step back. But now he's gonna be gracing Motown, Motor City, Detroit with his talents.
Yikes.
So I have.
That's the worst possible thing that could happen.
100%. I have a question for us. What's going on with Denver?
What's up? That's honestly a great question.
I think Denver have the potential to be really, really good. Or what I see happening is they miss the playoffs.
They lost Kentavious.
I don't know about missing the playoffs. Honestly.
But I literally just said I see them missing the playoffs. I just think that's too big of a loss.
Mm-hmm. They lost
honestly.
And they're not making any moves. They extended Michael Porter Jr.
Serious question about Jaylon, this is more tailored towards you because it's your boy. Do you think Russell Westbrook will make a big difference. I've been listening to some of the stuff that he's been saying, and like he's feeling like he's going to be able to play more free in Denver and whatnot. Jamal Murray is a huge question mark in my opinion. I think he's going to be fine, but like the way he looked at the Olympics, he looked like doo doo. And Canada was supposed to have the best backcourt at the Olympics after the U.S. obviously. But bro, that team, I don't know. But you're now a Denver fan, Jalen. So what do you think? Do you think Russell Westbrook's going to make a difference?
I think that Russell Westbrook does two things for Denver. He increases their pace, as he does everywhere he goes. So with that comes more possessions, more shots. But he also relieves a little bit of the ball handling responsibilities for Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray doesn't have to bring the ball up every single time down the court. And Nikola Jokic doesn't have to bring the ball up every single time down the court. And obviously he has a little bit of defense as well to the Denver Nuggets. I just don't think the Denver Nuggets have enough shooting. So for Russell Westbrook to be effective, you have to have one mobile bigs, which I do think they have in Zeke Naji and what's the other dude's name? Peyton Watson's not really a big, but they have athletic bigs and mobile bigs. But you also have to add shooting around him. I don't think they have enough shooting. I'm not privy to some information. Christian Brown doesn't shoot the ball particularly well. He shoots 34% from three. Aaron Gordon, we know his shooting is woeful, 29% from three. So for me, the makeup of this roster isn't conducive to Russell Westbrook being successful and this working out. Now, what I will say is that at some point we got to call a spade a spade. And everywhere we go, Russell Westbrook has come out saying, I can't be me. I can't be me. I wasn't free. So what the fuck are you then? Like at some point it has to be some self-reflection and say, okay, well, I can't be me because I can't shoot the fucking basketball. So maybe go in the gym and shoot jump shots. Like it infuriates me every season in the summer. Every summer I see this man dunking. Nigga, we know you can dunk. Why are you dunking? This man should never be allowed to take layups or dunk. It should just be shooting. Should just be jump shots. So for me, like to me, I'm kind of fed up with it. Like this is my guy still, but I'm kind of fed up with this nonsense from him every summer saying I wasn't allowed to be free. I wasn't allowed to be myself. So I just don't see it working out in Denver.
Yeah. So Perry, sorry to hijack your talking space. I just wanted to get that out there because you did ask the question. So, what is your answer to your own question about what you are thinking about Denver?
I think Denver's betting on Michael Porter Jr.'s growth. I think that's like the gamble they're making with all of the moves that they made. I think they're gambling on Michael Porter Jr.'s growth. I have in my top four in the West, I have OKC Thunder, one.
Yes, sir.
Grizzlies, I have Mavs, and I have the Suns.
You trust the Grizzlies' health?
Like, I'm assuming health for all of these teams.
You have the Grizzlies over the Mavs?
Yeah, I think the Mavs are going to take some time to, like, gel. I see them as a second half team.
Because you were big on the Mavs last year, so, like...
No, I have them for a championship. I have them for a championship.
Okay, but you just don't think, like, season-wise, you think the growing pains are going to hinder where they finish?
Yeah, like, book us for a chip. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
Then in the East, I have in no particular order except for number one. Actually, no, number one's not even set in stone. I have the Bucks, I have the Celtics, I have the Sixers, and I have the Knicks. But my question, sorry, Bina, but not to do your job, but my question is, hey, the Cavs, talk to me.
I think they'll be sixth in the East.
Indiana?
I think Indiana's going to be seventh. I think the Magic are going to be better than them. I think
low-key, the Magic might be top four.
Yeah, I have the Magic challenging the Bucks, really. Because I think, like, J-Lo's point about the Sixers not being able to mesh well, did we really see Giannis and Dame mesh well during the whole season? And, like, Doc Rivers is a trash coach. You know what I mean? So it's like...
Trash is crazy.
What has he done for us? Take out 2008. What has he done?
No, I don't deny it.
Hatem with the shades is actually evil. Hatem?
No, I'm just saying, like, what have you done? Bro, 2008, who was the president of the United States? Tell me. I'll wait.
George W. Bush.
It was W. Bush, bro.
In 08? Obama got elected in 08.
Obama took over in November.
Yeah, that goes to show you, bro. Bush was the nigga that was in presidency. My bad, pardon my language.
Yo, Hazel, what's going on with you?
Yo, he became a bad man, rude boy.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
That
Rude
You're a
boy.
rude boy right
man
now, huh?
needs to be fired, bro. I don't call for people's jobs often, but yo,
Yes,
chopping
you
blocks,
do. You've been
bro.
doing it all
Yo,
podcast
but
last season.
Yeah,
yo,
but they got fired.
on the Doc Rivers front, yo, that team was bound to win. Look who he had, man. He had Paul Pierce, he had Kevin Garnett, Rondo, Ray
Yo, can I
Allen.
go with a
Like
saying?
J-Rod was like crying of happiness when they won because he just knew that roster was built to win.
Can I say something?
Yo, what's up?
I have never seen someone accomplish just one thing and write off an accomplishment for so long. We're in 2024, and off the strength of an '08 championship, like if you conceive the day he won a championship, your kid would be about 15 years old now.
Yo, you know, to your point, Perry, you know what the worst part about it is? They keep giving him jobs on good teams. They
Yeah,
gave him a good Clippers team, and he flopped that. They give him a good Sixers team. He flopped that. He has a Bucks team that has two superstars. He flopped in that. So to
and
your
he has
point,
the
like
same
I
three
agree with you.
speeches. He has the same three speeches when he loses, bro. The same three. It was hard. All of us.
It's not
We
Blake's
had to
fault.
we had to go together. It's no one's fault. We're a team.
It's not Blake's
I could
fault.
only listen to that so many times. We have to come back to the drawing board and strategize. Come together as a team. Next team, same thing,
Perry,
same
you
thing.
are the thing that needs to change, fam. You are
Thank you.
the thing that needs to change.
Then he roasted Paul
Yo, Jalen.
George.
Yo, Jalen.
But that was personal.
You went to summer league.
What about my takes, bro? Whoa, 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 whoa. Bro, that's crazy. I already gave my East, I'll give my West. I got OKC first. I got the
I
Suns.
flopped.
I got the Suns.
Yes,
Uh, my sleep my sleeper team is the Rockets in third. Niggas don't know about the Rockets like that. And then I got four. I got Nuggets. And then five. I don't know why I have this. Like I don't know why I believe in this nigga. Like still to this day, but I think James Harden will have a comeback season, bro. So I think he gets the Clippers into the fifth position. And then six. This is a prayer. You know, this is inshallah. I got Wimby in the sixth spot.
I ain't mad at it.
Yo,
Yeah.
I do think Chris Paul being there is going to help them a lot.
Anyways, move on to the next topic.
I think Chris
I
Paul
agree with you.
being there because like
I think
all Chris Paul has to do is point guard. That's it.
I think at this point in their careers, I think Chris Paul outlasts Westbrook. Like I think that should be a conversation we have next body. You know, Joe's blood pressure is rising too high, fam, right now.
Don't know me, I'm chilling.
Yeah, yo, we'll do that next. Yo,
We need construction workers in the U.S. I heard.
yo, Jalen, yo, you went to summer league, bro. What players should we be looking out for? Who did you see? Who impressed?
Who impressed? Stephon Castle definitely impressed me.
Who does he play for?
The Spurs.
Okay, I just want you to name just for the viewers, bro. Some people don't watch summer league, so just
Oh,
say
my
the
fault.
team. You know,
But
that's
yeah,
it.
Stephon
Yeah.
Castle, he impressed me with the Spurs, and I think bringing in Chris Paul, he'll learn how to be a decent point guard in the league. You niggas are corny, bro.
Honestly, that is a Chris Paul win. You would never hear Jalen say something like that. Yo, Jalen, you grew up.
Anyways,
Does he play the point guard position though?
he's kind of a combo guard, but like he was playing a lot of point guard in summer league. I'll say that he was playing a lot of point guard in
So
summer
he
league.
is a combo guard and he can defend.
Yeah, he can guard.
But he can't shoot,
Um,
right?
no,
Sorry.
but I think if anybody who can't shoot is going to go into one organization, it has to be the Spurs.
So is he playing the dunker spot if he can't shoot?
Well, I don't know. I think they'll develop him the same way they developed Lonnie Walker, Devin Vassell,
DeJounte
Keldon
Murray.
Johnson. Those are all guys who came in.
DeJounte
DeJounte
Murray.
Murray, all guys who came in, yeah, who came into the league with the notion that they can't shoot, and all of them now are not necessarily knockdown shooters, but their shooting did improve, especially with
Kawhi
Lonnie
Leonard.
Walker, Keldon Johnson,
No, but I'm
Kawhi
saying in his
Leonard.
first year. I'm saying in his first year, what do you think he's gonna be like? He can't develop a jump shot in his first year. You know what I mean? Or it's like
No, I know, but I don't see him playing in the dunker spot. I still see him playing as maybe the backup point guard because the only other option is I forget his first name, but Branham, who's a decent little player, but I think Stephon Castle is miles better than him. So I see him, manning that second unit, coming on to give Chris Paul relief. And I think for the future, the Spurs are set up very well, either to have tradable pieces or to have, a very good future to complement Wemby. The biggest thing I noticed about Stephon Castle was that he's a very, very willing passer, which I think is only going to help Wemby's growth because, as you know, Jeremy Sochan and them boys, they don't like passing to Wemby for some reason. So I think if he can learn a little bit from Chris Paul and continue to develop, I think that's going to be a nice 1-2 tandem. Another player who I have always been very, very high on, Reed Shepard. That boy's
Yeah,
serious. That
yeah.
white boy's serious. He's so cold. I was telling Perry this in the summer.
Jalen, sorry to cut you off. Were you at the game where he did the crossover step back thing at the
Yeah,
were you
cold, cold, cold,
You,
brother.
you think they have to trade what's his name?
I would move on from Fred VanVleet, yeah.
No, not Fred VanVleet. I'm talking about the other boy.
I'd still move on from Fred VanVleet, 100%.
What's his name?
Jalen
Jalen
Green.
Green? No, because I still think Jalen Green can play the two. He's just a very, very inefficient player. Like, nothing he does is efficient.
He reminds me of a backup more. I feel like Shepard should start over him right now.
Yeah, but that means your backcourt is super, super small.
A lot of backcourts are super, super small, bro.
Yo, if you're the
Name
Spurs, what do you do with Trey Jones?
Trade
Yeah, that's kind of in between Tyus Jones' brother.
He's
Yeah,
a
because
backup.
you have good point, Perry, because you have
Stephon
Paul,
Castle, Chris Paul, and Trey Jones.
Dillingham.
Trey Jones was coming off the bench all last year, bro.
Dillingham is to they traded
Minnesota.
him to the
Yeah,
Timberwolves.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So you have now
Still.
3, and like your starting point guard was Trey Jones last year. You're bringing in
wasn't.
Chris Paul.
He wasn't their starting point guard.
Who? What? Yeah, he was, wasn't
He was the backup. They had Sohan starting at 1, bro. You guys, bro, come on, fam. He was the starting PG for like half the season.
he? Damn, that's crazy.
For half
Maybe
the
it's time for
season, your
Pop to go.
starting PG was Trey Jones, and now, or actually Sohan. So now you have Sohan, you have Trey Jones coming off the bench. You add Stephon Castle and Chris Paul.
I think Chris Paul starts. I think Stephon Castle comes off the bench, but he's in the closing units, and I think he plays like the best defender.
And
Trey
what do you
Jones
do
is
with Trey
just-
Jones?
He's just a 6 man. He just comes in. He's like a.
How can you be a
Backup.
6 man if Stephon Castle is ahead of him?
Right now, it says that Jones will be the second, and Stephon Castle will be the third. But they have Castle as the second unit shooting guard, which was Jalen did say that he's a combo guard at 6'6", so I can see that happening. So Trey Jones could get minutes, but if like Jalen said, Stephon Castle proves to be better, he gonna take those minutes from.
Is he
I
even
get
good,
that.
Perry?
Like, I'm assuming
Just who good?
Trey Jones.
I don't think he's good. That's why I asked him the question if you guys think he's good.
He's a poor man's version of his brother, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
What?
find I'm high on Tyus. I
I
think
kind
Tyus
of
is
like him in 2K.
That's crazy. Dude,
Yeah, like in 2K,
what about the
like
big still? Sorry, my bad, Perry. Go continue.
my bad. I was just gonna say in 2K, I just feel like he's a great point guard for my team.
Because he's cheap, bro. I know you have like 10 guys that are making 40 mil, and you're like, oh, I gotta pick this guy. Like, it's not like you're like, oh, let me pick the best point guard in the league. No, you're like, I have KD, I got Giannis, I got Dave, like anybody, you know what I mean?
It's not about the details, you know.
Okay. Anyways, Jill, tell us about the bigs, bro. The first round pick and the second round pick. Dudu and Dudu 2.
And the Hawks.
Well, I'll start with the Hawks. I'll start with Zach Risachet or Richard. I don't
And
know
sorry,
his
my
name.
fault. Hey, Jalen, before you get into it, I'm so sorry. While you talk about the Hawks, can you tell me what to you their draft pick implies for their future?
What do you mean? What it implies? Like why they picked him?
Like, yeah, like what it means that they picked Zachary Risachet at number 1 with Trae
Yeah. So
Young,
for
like
some reason,
like in respects to Trae Young as well.
okay. So for some reason, they think he's the next. They view him as the next Kevin Durant, which was a weird comparison to me because they're not really the same build. They don't really have the same skill set. They can't score the same sort of rate and same clip. I don't see the comparison. So I think that eventually they think they can move on from DeAndre Hunter and obviously Clint Capella. To me, I think they got to move forward with Jalen Johnson or Jaden Johnson. Jalen Johnson. I think they got to move forward with Jalen Johnson because I think they've missed on this pick. He's not as big as I don't even know how to explain it. Like I just think he seems very timid. He seems
Who?
very scared. Rissacher.
Yeah, because you said Jalen Johnson. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. sorry, Ristic doesn't seem like he's NBA ready. I think I view him as a bust. He's not somebody that is going to average, I think, any more than 15 a game.
Say
Um,
this recording when he's not a bust. Anyways, continue.
I just think the Hawks really whiffed on this one. I don't see anything to suggest that he's going to be big time. Alex Sarr, I think the opposite. So Washington's pick, I like their pick because he has size, he has length, pause, and I think he just struggled because he was playing out of position. But the Hawks played Risticher at the three, or the three, the four, and I think that's his true position. And I think in the NBA to translate that, he's going to struggle big time with the physicality. His skill set isn't as high as they think it is. So for me, the Risticher pick didn't really make much sense in that aspect. I think Donovan Klingon was a very, very good pick for Portland. Honestly, if I'm then I try and move on from DeAndre Ayton. I don't know why DeAndre Ayton is so scared to dunk the
It's
basketball,
because he didn't buy a mattress in
but
time.
Donovan Klingon.
Do you think your boy does well this
You
year?
didn't see that interview?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, do you think your boy does well this year?
Which one?
Bro, the point guard, bro. That's your boy, bro. That's Westbrook 2.0, bro. You love that nigga too.
Oh, my guy Scoot. My guy Scoot.
You do too.
uh, Scoot Henderson, I think this is kind of like a make or break for him this year. He didn't play in the summer league, but I think it's kind of make or break for him to kind of figure out what his NBA career is going to be. He has to shoot the basketball better. Obviously, he has to make better decisions. But I think the Portland Trail Blazers are in a position where they have too many pieces. Like they
Look
have
at
too
that
many.
Canadian, bro. The Canadian?
Huh?
The Canadian? What's his name?
Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, that guy's tough.
So, but that's exactly what my point is. They have so many pieces in so many positions because you still have Malcolm Brogdon, you have Scoot Henderson, you have Anthony Simons, you have Shaden Sharp, you have so many people in the same position. You have no idea what to do with. So you gotta kind of pick your core guys, and then you gotta kind of move the rest on. See if you can get some picks or free up some cap space to make a big splash in free agency.
Tank for Cooper.
Want them to move the whole franchise? Bro, we're talking about trading one player. This man said, yo, just move the whole thing.
No, he said a tank for Cooper flag.
Oh,
Which
I thought he said move to Vancouver. That's crazy.
No. I said tank for, no.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was them, I would tank for Cooper flag.
The Nets already started on that, bro. Did you see the Nets backcourt?
Yeah, it's me and you, fam.
Ben Simmons and
Alhamdulillah, we made it.
what's his name? What's the other guy's name?
Not Cam Thomas.
His name Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes, yes. That's Perry's boy. Perry, your boy made it. Hey, call him for Perry.
No, that's Perry's 2K legendary player.
Perry stayed 10 toes.
Yo, real talk, Cooper was balling. I was watching some of the highlights from that game of the U.S. Select Team versus the big boys. Jeez, yo, kid can ball. I'm not excited though. I'm a UNC fan, so I have to see this man twice.
Yeah, he's gonna cook UNC. Golly.
I read somewhere that the Nets are preparing to get Jimmy Butler as well, and like free agency or whatever.
You think that man's going from Miami to Brooklyn? Lost your soul.
I don't think Miami signs him again, and I think Brooklyn pays him.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna go to Brooklyn. Like, yo, the man's gonna go somewhere else.
Who's gonna pay him?
Toronto.
Toronto already paid all those guys, bro. They have no money.
Toronto's not paying
No,
Jimmy
I know.
Butler.
I just want to see what y'all would say.
He actually meant Toronto.
That's what
He actually meant Toronto. Who's paying Jimmy Butler? That could contend. It's not gonna be. They're not paying him.
They
They're already paying a bunch of other guys that aren't doing anything, bro.
Yeah, but to pay him and Draymond,
They paid Chris Paul and stuff. Yo, they would pay Jimmy Butler.
Is Wiggins still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace to Wiggins' dad, by the way. Now that we bring it up,
RIP.
But Wiggins, they could trade Wiggins and someone else, and it would match the salary.
Yeah.
They signed Kevin Knox.
Who? He's still in the league?
The Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors.
Damn. He's journeyman for
Legend,
real.
huh?
The way you read that was like so unimpressed. You're like, yo, they signed Kevin Knox.
Your face,
Yeah,
your
bro.
face is still unimpressed.
WNBA, bro. We gotta talk about the WNBA.
Yo.
Come on, Quab.
Aja Wilson. That's Aja Wilson.
Batman Abayo.
Yo, messed up.
Brother, don't get us in trouble, fam. Don't get us in trouble.
Aja
Don't get us in trouble, fam.
Wilson. Oh my god, yo, woman is nasty.
Cool. You
Shit.
said that like she a freak.
What?
You gotta chill out, Bina.
No, I'm.
Heard the
You gotta chill
bam.
out,
You
bro.
heard the bam. You see what?
You gotta chill out, bro. You gotta chill out.
No, I'm saying like, she's balling heavy.
Yeah. Take the bass out your voice. No, I'm just joking.
Honestly, I'm going for New York, man. I want to see New York win that championship. Give it to my girl Sabrina Ionescu. Saw them play live last year, and like, yo,
In the what round are they in? I won't lie, I haven't.
it's, semifinals right now, and New York is up 1-0 on Las Vegas,
Yeah.
and Connecticut upset Minnesota to steal game one.
Isn't Las Vegas in the other conference? So how are they playing each other? Is there no conference in WNBA?
Oh, they go 1-8.
Just go 1-8.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, so they don't care about conferences in the WNBA.
Oh, bro.
But that's what they should do in the NBA, bro. If they could do it in the WNBA, I'm sure they can do it in the NBA.
Yeah,
Because
yo, they don't care. Like,
uh,
anyone could play anyone. That's why like Las Vegas versus New York is kind of like a finals because like those are two of the top teams. But
who's
you're
in the other
seeing it
bracket?
early. Yeah,
And the
because
best of three.
because of the way the bracket work.
Oh, who's in the other bracket?
Connecticut, Minnesota.
Minnesota and Connecticut.
Okay, okay. It's best of 3?
Yes, sir.
Five.
No,
Five?
5 is on the finals.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, best of 3 and finals is best of 5.
Wow. They lost some money there, bro.
Yeah, man.
Trust me. Yo, are you guys gonna come to Montreal for the Les Nets de Brooklyn?
What?
You guys don't know? There's a G League. There's the G League team from Brooklyn is coming down from Brooklyn to play in Montreal.
Bro,
Sorry. So, wait, hit him. Hold on. So not only is it the Nets, but is their G League affiliate?
Exactly what I was about to say. You're out your
Bina,
mind.
end this podcast.
Yo, it's the Long Island Nets, bro.
Wallahi, wasted our time. Yo, Bina, you know what? You're on timeout. Take the lead, bro.
That's on my broken plays, bro.
Next episode of Broken Place, we'll be discussing whose career is still more alive between Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. That's our next episode of Broken Place.
And until then, we'll be finding Venus common sense.